Don't get me wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the UK Christmas market.
Lots of people coming to Christmas markets. We're at the one here in Birmingham today, and after that attack in Germany, what you can see here are big barriers, concrete barriers covered in metal, and these have been set up for the duration of this Christmas market and before it opened at the start of November. These are designed to be able to stop vehicles coming into what will be later on a very heavily pedestrianised area. We've seen already neighbourhood police teams this morning from the West Midlands Police. The Christmas market itself has its own private security which patrols the market 24 hours a day, but West Midlands Police also saying that they have got specialist trained officers that are in and around the crowds that engage in special reconnaissance missions and in order to identify possible targets of people trying to cause crime. So you've got those specialist officers that are out on the streets today, as well as neighbourhood policing. That will be very much the same situation across the country. These barriers are certainly not just here in Birmingham. They'll be at markets across the country, whether they are simply concrete barriers or more reinforced barriers as we've got here in the city today. We'll be asking people when it gets busier later on whether they are feeling safe coming to these markets today.
I find it interesting they say it's safe, but we build barriers just in case, as if people can't adapt to that if they really don't like you. Imagine if you were celebrating a gender party. Do you feel safe? If people say we build barriers around you so you can just keep partying over here? So these are the residents of Motherburg, and they're screaming at the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz in the way that, hey man, get out of here. They're not happy with the fact that somebody drove a car through a Christmas market and they don't see actions that help them feel safe.
Oldják meg ezt a problémát. Ez egy német ügy, mondanánk. Na de nem német ügy. Mert Brüsszel Magdeburgot akar csinálni Magyarországba. Hát rá akarja kényszeríteni a magyarokra, és a német kormány ebben nem véd meg bennünket. Weber úr az élen jár ezzel ebben Brüsszelben. Hát rá akarnak erőltetni Magyarországon olyan migrációs szabályozást, aminek a kockázata kiveri a szemünket. Hát sose akarjuk ezt meg, mert védekezni fogunk, eszközök lesznek, időnként provokatívak, máskor civilizált jogi eszközök, de mindig meg fogjuk magunkat védeni. Mert ezt nem szabad megengedni.
And that is what Hungary thinks of Motherburg. Ladies and gentlemen, you can say it's scary, but I think it's also scary that I need to walk past a few barriers to feel safe so I can celebrate Christmas. So far, no knife was found today. The police are conducting a bag check. You can go to our colleague. She'll look quickly at your bag. Let me start with your handbag. You have nothing with you? No knife? Okay. Not that I know of. Okay. I might have a knife somewhere. Look at that side. On that side. Where? On that side. There. But I don't know. I always clear it out. Yes, there really is one. Is there anything in it? Yes, a small one. Good. That is the problem. That's something like that would also be an administrative offense. That's why we must keep this knife. All I have to say is this. If somebody has seen attacks happen more and more on Christmas party and you're telling them it's safe, but you can't have a knife, but if a car comes by, we're going to block it. Don't you think the other people that might not be happy about it might be thinking, there's a lot more people without weapons?
What does the party have to do to reconnect with voters?
Go ahead.
Why are you asking the Republican? I think the Dems should start. I got thoughts, but I'll let you start.
I can start.
Look, young people were still the age group with the highest support for the Democratic candidate this year. So we can start there. I don't think that young people have necessarily left the Democratic Party. Yes, there have been some gains made by the Republican Party, but by and large, young people are voting democratically. The other thing that I will say is about AOC, she has been demonized by the right, and she's been demonized as this like too progressive, far left person. And I want to try to set the record straight, because if she is too progressive, then the Democrats really are going to lose the working class, because this is her platform. The key issues: health care for all people, affordable housing, rebuild the unions, federal job guarantee, free public college, create clean energy jobs, pay parental leave, and expand protections for the LGBTQ+ community.
and defund the police, open borders, men that identify as a woman can play against women, man, and you raise taxes a lot. So much in the way that certain people have the human right to work and other people have human right because other people are working for them.
If that is too progressive for this country, then that's a problem for the Democrats, and that's a problem, quite frankly, for this country.
That used to be a description of a liberal.
But the health care for all should be an everybody issue.
But the devil's in the details, because a lot of this country does not support, for example, the Green New Deal, which would absolutely crush jobs across this country, wreak havoc on the economy.
It would create millions of jobs, actually.
It would actually make international travel virtually impossible to do because of some of the regulations that have been in place. From my perspective as a Republican who didn't support Trump, this may sound weird, I think Democrats focus too much on Trump. People who were going to be with Donald Trump were going to be with Donald Trump. There needed to be more of a, this is who we are, this is what we're proactively fighting for. And I can think of 3 or 4 policies that were laid out by the vice president. She talked about this support for elderly parents. She talked about these first-time homebuyer payments. But they need a
opportunity economy.
But again, that's a platitude. What does it mean? You know, like, and I didn't know that by
a 90-page
But
white paper.
But in this world we live in, when you have 3 months especially, I don't know that people knew what she was for. And then a lot of her positions in 2020, she was on the complete opposite side of now.
Did you hear her response? She said, isn't that good for the economy? I'm like, do you understand what you just said? The problem with that comment is, it's like you said, if that is too left for America, America is the problem. And I'm like, are you talking at me or are you talking to me to find the middle ground? I see parents talk to kids like that, and over a long time, they're not happy with their parents because they feel that their parents don't listen to them. They become vindictive, and then they're like, oh my God, my child is different. No, your child ain't different. You built that child, just like you built the popular vote.
I think Rahm Emanuel hit it right on the head in an op-ed for the Washington Post. He had 2 parts that really kind of stuck with me. He talked about with inflation stinging, school absenteeism skyrocketing, students' academic scores plummeting, Democrats consume themselves in debates over pronouns, bathroom access, and renaming schools, and adopted terms such as care economy and Latinx to win over voters. And I think what it comes down to is oftentimes Democrats tend to tell people what to care about rather than listening to what they actually care about. Because he goes on to say, you know, they tiptoe around issues like crime, immigration, homelessness, and then they quote stats, while meanwhile there's an uptick in carjackings and you have to lock up deodorant and CVS.
Crime is down.
But you're doing exactly my point here. What happens is each time people show statistics, everyone's saying crime is a problem. That doesn't make them feel better when you say, but it's not.
And this face represents the elitist, pretentious attitude. That's the face, because she's realizing, hey, you don't listen to me because I know better, and I need to find a way to remind you why I am better so I can do exactly what I want, because I don't really have the time to listen to you, but I've realized there's way more of you than me. The popular vote.
Donald Trump won, I believe.
Democratic lawmakers in Washington are calling Elon Musk President Musk now, and they're saying Donald Trump is the vice president or the head of communications.
Wait a second. No one said that.
Really? Have you not watched and paid attention to the news?
Absolutely not. I'm paying attention to what I'm doing during my day so I can try and get a better life and get ahead.
Okay, do you have your phone with you?
I do.
Why don't you Google right now?
Yes, tell me.
President Musk and see what comes up.
No. But that's already a loaded question, you realize.
Tell me, give me the sources.
Axios, Business Insider.
Oh.
We don't trust any of these. The common man doesn't trust any of this.
Keep going.
ABC News, Washington Post, New York Times, The Atlantic.
Oh!
I don't trust any of these.
Oh!
I don't trust any of them.
Okay.
I don't trust any of these. We're the common man. We don't trust any of these. No one trusts the government. No one trusts the common news. We don't trust any of that anymore.
Well,
Independent news, we are the ones that own the news now. People trust me. They don't trust MSNBC. Because I care and I'm actually one of them.
I can't disagree with you.
Okay.
I get a lot of people coming to me saying, I only watch, I don't watch corporate media anymore.
Right. I find it very interesting. All the media that he mentioned are the media that they control. And he just said they're talking about it. All I want to say is show me the exact clip where they said that Elon Musk is the next president or the president or whatever. Don't tell me an article said that and we post a bunch of articles that says the same thing. That doesn't convince me anymore because so many times you said something, but something else happened. And I'm done believing something that never happened.
Some senior party officials said to be open to Kamala Harris running again in 4 years. Politico asking the question, are Democrats coconut pilled? Where are you on this future?
Well, that was Fox News anchor Bill Hemmer throwing to Lindy Lee, who's the DNC Mid-Atlantic Regional Chair. Probably not for long because she is about to devastate Kamala Harris.
This is not what America wants. November 5th was a decisive defeat for the Democratic Party. She lost every single swing state. It wasn't a squeaker like it was in 2016. This was a resounding defeat. And right now, Kamala Harris is indulging in delusions of running for governor of California possibly in 2026 or even president again in 2028. America has said this is not what we don't want to be coconut pilled. We do not want Kamala Harris. We don't want failed border policies. And I feel like I'm liberated and I can finally tell the truth that the Democrats completely failed on the border. Title 42 was a tremendous mistake, and no one is willing to say that. And you shouldn't be called bigoted or racist because you want strong borders for the United States. And you should be able to say that the economy was ailing under the Biden-Harris administration, that price hikes did indeed happen, but they denied that for the first 3 years of the administration. And when they finally did something, it was too late.
Lindy Lee is Democratic, donated to Kamala Harris. She feels that Kamala Harris failed her. Now they're opponents. And she's like, no, I don't want to be in the same team with this woman. I want to have a safer country. But the people that support Kamala are calling her racist.
You shouldn't be called bigoted or racist because you want strong borders for the United States.
Real power is in everyday people. And if you can control the algorithms of what they see, if you can control the narratives of what they believe through propaganda, through artificial amplification, which is what Elon does. He sets his tweets to be the most retweeted, etc. Then you can control them. So we're gonna have to read a lot.
Do people read his opinion more, or do more people have a voice to be able to talk without being called, hey, you just said a hate speech, you're never allowed to speak again on this platform? Yes, because it's conservatives who control the media, corporate America, academic institution, Hollywood, the court, etc., etc. The left has owned the public square for years. You can't just lie about that.
The Democrats have got to move on quickly, haven't they?
Yeah,
The Democrats have got to move on quickly, haven't they?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. She's indulging delusions of running for governor in California in 2026 and perhaps even running for president in 2028. And I just want to echo what a lot of you guys already said. This past week has been harrowing for me. This Saturday, I went on Fox and Friends and I said that Democrats have a stench of loser hanging over them.
Yeah.
As soon as I said that, there were boycott campaigns against me, unblock, unfollow campaigns. I lost 40,000 followers.
Really?
In 4 days. People have called me the W word. I don't know what we're allowed to say, but you can fill in the blank.
We're uncensored. Let's say it. Say it. Say what the word was.
Am I allowed to?
Yeah.
Well, they called me a whore. They called me the C word. They asked for me to be deported. And you can just search for my name in those terms on X and you'll see a bunch of them. So, all these so-called Democrats, the party of inclusion, the party of diversity, masks off. And it's even worse because they pretend to occupy the moral high ground. They pretend to be, so loving and caring and embracing of diversity. But all of a sudden, when I dare to utter any criticisms of the goddess, Kamala Harris, I get ostracized. Me, after having raised tens of millions of dollars for the party. My donors are pissed. They raised $2.5 billion across Super PAC in the campaign. It's my responsibility. It's my duty of care to ask what the hell happened with that money? Why did we spend it? Why did we spend millions of dollars on five-star hotels for campaign staffers? Why did we spend $500,000 essentially bribing Al Sharpton moments before he interviewed Kamala? These are legitimate questions, but no, in the cult, you can't ask questions.
Yeah.
And leaving the Democratic Party or even questioning the Democratic Party is like leaving a cult. It's terrifying. Pierce, I don't want that. I don't want to be a part of this tent. I don't want to be a part of this craziness anymore. They're accelerating my rightward shift. I don't want this nonsense. It's just crazy.
But Sanks knows very well how Democrats think.
I think Kamala Harris will probably win in a cakewalk for governor.
No!
Okay.
No! What are you doing? What are you doing?
No, I'm telling you the reality, whether you like it or not.
What are you doing?
Democratic voters in California love to obey. And so
oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm going to move, Cenk. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to quit my job.
And I don't think Cenk is lying, but the fact that Anna's like, it can't be true, a lot of people still want to vote for this woman. And Cenk's like, well, we obey very good. And I guess he doesn't want to say it. I guess you're going to have to move, unless you don't have the tough skin just like me. Because I have hope for the Democratic Party. Okay.
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde kush, hash purple skunk, criollo colombici jam jam, durloqueta verdeta welcome.